Hey guys, I'm Dhyan and I'm back with another Python video. In this video, I will teach you about tuples. So, I've opened a Jupyter notebook and let's get right into it. So guys, as you can see, I've opened a Jupyter notebook and named it as Tuples Basics, and that's exactly what I will be teaching in this notebook. So, tuples. What are tuples? Tuples are very similar to lists. Tuples are also data structures and you can store values in them. So, what is the difference between tuples and lists? Tuples are immutable, whereas lists are mutable. Um, you might be thinking, what is the meaning of immutable and mutable? So, mutable means that you can change the value of the elements inside a list or any other data structure. So, you can actually change the value of the element. You might not have understood what I just said, but I will show you an example. So, I will go ahead and create a list. 2, 3, and 4. And now I have a list. Let me just print it out. There you go, I just printed out the list. Now if you have seen the previous video, you will know that there are functions to add elements to a list. I will use the append function to actually add an element to the list, and I will add 5 to the list. Now as you can see, 5 got added to the list. So what I just did is I created a list called A. I appended 5 to it and I printed it out. So I actually created a list here, and using a function I could add an element to the list. And same way I can also remove an element using a function. So now I can really use this function when I have made a list and later I remember to add another element to the list. I can actually just use this function to add an element, or I can also remove an element. But this is not the same in tuples. In tuples, you can't use any functions to remove elements or add elements. So this is why it's called immutable. So mutable means that you can change the elements inside the data structure using functions. But immutable is the exact opposite, which means you can't change the elements. So that's what a tuple is. Now let's learn how to construct a tuple. Now I'll name my tuple will be called my tuple. I'm naming it my tuple, and let's give it some strings. We keep on giving integers, it's gonna be boring, right? So let's give names of animals. Oh, what did I just do? So I've created a tuple, and to create a tuple you need to put these parentheses or normal brackets outside of the elements. You need these parentheses. So to create a list you need square brackets. To create a tuple you need curved brackets. Okay. So now I'll print this out. Okay, so this is a tuple. To confirm that it's a tuple, you can use the type um, you can use type with brackets. You might have already seen this in the previous videos. And now it says class tuple, which means Python recognizes this as a tuple. So now there's another way to construct a tuple, that's to use the tuple constructor. What is the tuple constructor? Uh, this is the tuple constructor. This thing here, what I just typed. So inside of these brackets, you need to type a list of the things you need to be converted to a tuple. So you just type the tuple constructor, and inside the brackets you make a list, and inside of this list you give some elements, and then the list gets converted into a tuple using the tuple constructor. Hope you guys understood that. That was pretty complex. So I put in a list of numbers which I'll be calling A, and now I'll print it out. So it still treats it as a tuple. To confirm that, we can use the type ability. So it still recognizes it as a tuple. And one more thing, guys, that I want to tell you is that you can actually remove these brackets, the parentheses that I had before, these ones. You need not actually have them. So now you can see the parentheses. You need not actually have them for it to be a tuple. You can actually remove these brackets. There you go, I removed it, and it's still, Python still treats it as a tuple. So I'll show you. See, it still treats it as a tuple, so that's very interesting. Okay, now you got to know how to create tuples, how to construct tuples, and the different ways you can construct tuples. So guys, as you can see, I have a different tuple here. So inside of this there are some names of fruits. So now I want to show you the indexing system of tuples. So in the previous videos you might have seen that each of the strings inside a list have index values. So the exact same way in a tuple too there are index values which actually is the same as list. So the first element has the index value 0, the next one has the index value 1 and 2 and so on. So with these index values you can actually access each element of the tuple. So firstly, let's print out only one element of the tuple. So to do this, type the print command, type the name of the tuple, my tuple, and type square brackets, and inside of these square brackets type the index value of the element that you want to be that you want to print out. So now I want to print out banana. I'm gonna type 1 here and hit and run. So now it only printed out banana because I have given the index value right here. So this way you can print out single elements only. You need not print out the whole tuple. And there's one more function by which you can find the index value of an element. So you know that an element is inside of the tuple, but you don't know exactly where the element is. So you can just use the index, you can use a function to know the index value of the element. So to do this, you need to type index my tuple dot index. um, we'll find the index of mango. Okay, so this is the index function, and now we run it and it gives the index of mango. There you go. So this is helpful, when you have a very big tuple and you don't exactly know where your values are, you can use this function. And you can also find out the length of a tuple, which is very very easy. My tuple. So you just do this and you can find out the length of the tuple. And remember one thing, when you're finding the length of the tuple, the number that it gives won't, the counting won't start from 0 when you're calculating the length of the tuple. It will always start from 1. So lengthwise this tuple is 4 characters long, but indexing starts from 0. Always remember, don't think 4 is wrong. It is 4 characters long, but indexing starts from 0, but when you're finding the length it starts from 1. Okay, now I have a tuple called A, And I want to show you the function of slicing tuples. So it's pretty easy. So for example, you don't want the whole tuple to be printed out. Hold on, I think I'll add another value to this. What is another vegetable? I think tomato. Okay. So I want to show you slicing tuples, and this is easy. So to slice a tuple, you need to have this colon always to slice a tuple, and let me just show you. So you don't want to print the whole tuple out. You maybe want to print from carrot onwards till tomato. So you don't want brinjal included. So you want to print carrot, beetroot, and tomato. So this is how you do it. So you take the index value of carrot, type it there, print, type colon, you always need colon to slice, and um, you just print it out. You always need brackets, that's what I forgot, square brackets. Now print it out. It's gonna exclude brinjal and it's gonna print carrot, beetroot, and tomato. Okay, so now you can also set the limit. You can if you don't want brinjal and tomato, you just want from carrot till beetroot, then you need not, you can type the index value of tomato, that is 3, and if you print it out. Okay, what just happened? Oops, I forgot the brackets. Okay, now if I run it, it's gonna print only carrot and beetroot because I typed the index value 1, which is of carrot, so it's gonna exclude beetroot because it's 0, and 3. 3 is actually the index value of tomato, but when you're ending, if you're typing the last value, when you're slicing, you need to type the value of the one that you want to exclude. So it's actually gonna take the index value 3, exclude tomato, and print the one that's behind that. So this is about slicing, and now uh, I'll show you how to concatenate strings, concatenate tuples. Concatenating is nothing but adding tuples. So before this, we need to make a new tuple with numbers. And now I want to add these two tuples, and this is really easy. I mean, it's nothing. Just just write a first, the name of the first tuple, and then the name of the second tuple. Print C. Oops. There you go. This is very easy to add tuples. And also guys, if you want to delete a tuple, for example, you have a tuple which you don't want, that's very easy. Just write del, the first 3 letters of delete, and write the name of the tuple, and now run this. Nothing's gonna be printed out. The tuple is deleted. Now how do we check if the tuple is deleted? Easy, just write print my tuple, and if the tuple is actually deleted, this should throw an error at us because the tuple does not exist. There you go, it threw an error and it says that my tuple is not defined because actually my tuple was deleted. And this is almost everything about tuples. And tuples, again, as I told before, tuples are immutable, which means the value cannot be changed. So where you can use tuples are like if you're giving id for students. If you're giving a specific id for students, you don't want the id to be changed, right? So this is when you can use tuples, and no one can ever change the value inside of tuples. This is very useful. um, Hope you learned from this video, and if you did, please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and you can expect some more Python videos, and I believe sets is the next video. Thank you guys.